Good morning and welcome. I'm Thomas Mattair. I'm the Executive Director of the Middle East Policy Council here in Washington, and on behalf of the Ministry of Information of the Sultanate of Oman and the Embassy of the Sultanate here in Washington, I'd like to welcome you here to this one-day symposium, the Oman Scholarly Symposium, moving into the 21st century, Oman in the 21st century. It looks very interesting to me. I know it's been very carefully planned with a panel on history and heritage, another panel on geopolitics, and another panel on economic development, as well as a keynote speech by former Utah Governor John Huntsman, and a very nice art exhibit, which I just looked at. And as I said, I'm looking forward to these panels, and the speakers and moderators have also been chosen carefully for their expertise. And as someone who just visited Oman again a couple of weeks ago, I found it to be a beautiful, peaceful place. And if you follow the news, you know that it plays a very helpful, moderate role in the region. And that's always been interesting to me because I'm a student of American foreign policy since post-World War II, and have paid attention to the kinds of cooperation Oman has rendered to the United States since the 1970s. I would like to introduce the ambassador and the Minister of Information, who both want to make remarks to you before we start the day. First, I'd like to introduce the ambassador to the United States, Hunaina Sultan Ahmed Al-Mugheri, became ambassador of Oman to the United States in 2005. She obtained a bachelor's degree in business communications from the Howe Polytechnical Institute in Cairo and a master's degree in economics from New York University. She's had a long record of service in the government. From 1973 to 1974, she was the assistant to the economic advisor to the Sultan. From 1979 to 1984, she served as the Director of Industrial Loans and Grants in the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And from 1984 to 1985, she worked in the permanent mission of the Sultanate of Oman to the United Nations in Geneva. And from 1985 to 91, she was Director of Industrial Planning and Research at the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and a member of the Planning Committee for Major Gas Projects in Oman. In 1991, Ambassador Al-Mugheri was appointed as an advisor to the Undersecretary for Industry in the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. She held this position until 1996. And from 96 until 1998, she was the Director General of the Export Promotion and Investment Promotion at the Omani Center for Investment Promotion and Export Development. From 1995 to 2005, before she became the ambassador here, she served as the representative of the Omani Center for Investment Promotion and Export Development in New York City. Her husband, Fuad Mubarak Al-Hanai, has been Oman's ambassador to the United Nations since 1998, and the couple has 2 children. Ambassador, please, welcome. The podium is yours.
Thank you. Somebody to... I've got it. Yeah, I have it. Distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Mattair, for this very generous introduction. It gives me great pleasure to welcome here this morning to the Omani Scholarly Symposium. Your Excellency, Dr. Abdul Muhainam Al-Ahsani, Minister of Information, it is an honor and a great pleasure to have you here with us this morning in Washington. This year, we celebrated the 44th National Day anniversary. Indeed, It has been an incredible journey during the last 44 years under the leadership of His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said, in view of the country's notable development that has been acknowledged globally. Oman's friendship with the United States is historic. As you have just seen in the film a few minutes ago, it dates back to the 1700s when the American vessel Boston Rambler touched down on the shores of Muscat. In 1833, Oman and the United States signed the Treaty of Amity and Commerce. And in 1838, the US consulate was established in Oman. In 1840, Ahmed bin Nu'man, the first envoy of His Majesty the Sultan, arrived in New York on the vessel, the Sultana. The Sultanate of Oman enjoys a stable social, political, and economic system and has excellent relations with many countries around the world. This enables us to play an active role in promoting political, economic, and cultural cooperation with everybody. Oman has a clear diplomatic vision which emphasizes His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said's view of the importance of establishing means for cultural and intellectual cooperation and building bridges of understanding between nations. This cooperation is not possible without cultural and political institutions. The Ministry of Information is one of these institutions through which we can introduce Oman and its various achievements and influences. The theme of the symposium today is Oman in the 21st century. It touches on topics that are important for an American audience. Its objective is to present various aspects of Oman's history, culture, politics, and economy. This morning, we will be joined by a group of notable scholars, thinkers, and authors. Through their depth analysis, they will highlight Oman's history, politics, economy, and of course, culture. We have wonderful presentations to learn from, and we appreciate having you with us here this morning. I hope you'll be able to stay for the rest of the day. Thank you very much for joining us.
And now I'd like to introduce the Minister of Information. I have about 2 minutes in which to do this, but it really, to do him justice, would take about 30 minutes. So the highlights are that he has a Ph.D. in media and mass communication from the University of Leicester in the United Kingdom, and a master's with distinction in journalism and press studies from the University of Cardiff in the United Kingdom, and a bachelor's degree with distinction along with honors from the Department of Information in the College of Arts and Sciences at Sultan Qaboos University. After his education, he worked as assistant dean of the College of Arts and Sciences for training and community service, and also served as assistant professor in the Department of Information in the College of Arts and Sciences at Sultan Qaboos University. He is a member of the International Association for Media and Communication Research, many other organizations that promote better mass communications. He's the winner of numerous awards for photography, and I'd like to welcome you to the podium now, Mr. Minister, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Dr. Mattair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Dear distinguished and honored guests, it gives me a great pleasure to be with you today in Washington, D.C. for the Ministry of Information's first Omani Scholarly Symposium entitled Oman in the 21st century. There is no doubt that the Sultanate of Oman has been moving toward a modern state since His Majesty Sultan Qaboos bin Said came to power, and his promise of establishing Oman as a culturally rich and open nation has become evident to all aspects of Omani life. The Omani Scholarly Symposium is a continuation of a series of projects pursued officially by the Sultanate in cooperation with various academic and professional institutions throughout the United States. I would like to take this opportunity to mention that currently in Oman, there is a conference signifying the historical diplomatic voyage of the Sultanship to New York. Today's symposium strengthens the foundation of mutual understanding through the exchange of opinions and ideas with the goal of providing valuable knowledge for both countries. We will focus on three main subjects: history and heritage, geopolitics, and economic development. On behalf of everyone here today, I would like to thank the incredible panelists and moderators, many who have traveled from various cities across the US and from countries abroad, for their cooperation and participation that will most certainly enrich us intellectually. I'd also like to thank the Master of Ceremony, Dr. Thomas Mattair, Director of the Middle East Policy Council, for his vital role and unwavering support. Also, I would like to thank our guest of honor and keynote speaker, Governor Hansman, who will be joining us in a few hours. His participation with us today is highly appreciated, and as his political and economic expertise is essential for those who aim to identify future vision and aspiration for any country. Dear distinguished and honored guests, last but not least, we thank you for being with us here today. We wish the speakers and the audience, both in this ballroom and who are following virtually, the best of luck and success. Once more, welcome all, and now let the symposium begin. Thank you.